Hello everyone. Today we are here at Hannover Messe 2025 and we report live with Snowflake and Deloitte. Next to me, I have Martin from Snowflake and Kai from Deloitte. May you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Martin Gutberlet from Snowflake. I'm the industry principal for manufacturing for Snowflake.
Cool. Hi, my name is Kai-Uwe Hess, only Kai. I'm the responsible partner for smart manufacturing from Deloitte, Germany.
Hello, I'm Lara Bothur. I'm Voice for Innovation and Global Tech Trend Scout at Deloitte, and I'm happy to ask some questions. So, I would like to know, we all know those unconnected data, right? The silos. How can you overcome challenges with your modern platform?
We have the opportunity to get IT and OT data on shop floor into Snowflake and connect data within existing cloud systems or with an IT environment to that data. That means customers, especially manufacturing customers, are getting their single access to all data in their company.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
For me, more important when you get one step back, saying, okay, why is it so complicated? And you mentioned IT, OT. I think it's also a mind shift.
Yes.
You don't thinking in IT and OT in the future anymore. There will be one infrastructure for IT and OT, which then enables exactly what Martin described, that you have one layer above collecting all data of that infrastructure.
So you just have one domain. What other challenges do you see when it comes? What are the clients facing currently? What are the questions they ask, and what would be the right question they should ask?
I mean, there are a couple of challenges for customers within manufacturing.
Yeah.
One is many systems, applications, especially on shop floor, are legacy applications. They are there for 20, 30 years, right?
Yeah.
And to make these applications cloud ready, state of the art for data warehouses, applying AI is almost mission impossible, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why we have not only to get data into a data warehouse, we also have to think about what are the smartest way in order to modernize infrastructures both on-premise and off-premise.
Yes.
While consolidating all data into a single data warehouse. And that's the trick. But it's not a thing which you do over the weekend. You know, that's a challenge in order to overcome all of these legacy applications.
Yeah. This is where we help.
This is where we help. And the good news is that is a challenge, but there might be some shortcuts which you can take in the time. Yeah. And
That's
this is
nice.
very important. You don't have to do the entire exercise looking at each application saying it's out or it's in. What you said is the modernization. You can do it by faster going into the cloud directly and just kick off the rest.
And to add what you have said, if I may.
Yeah.
So in the good old days when people were talking about IT and OT convergence and bringing that together, it was all very much meant to send data to a central IT department.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's also sending back data back to shop floor and also sending back AI and generative AI models back to shop floor in order to make it one infrastructure environment and landscape.
Yeah, just to give you also an example, I'm just talking to one of my customers. And
Yeah.
They had pretty much the same problem. And we decided to make some functionalities. You don't think in applications anymore. So taking some functionalities, put some of them where really makes sense into the cloud, and the rest you need on site, as Suzanne mentioned.
Yeah.
And there might be different systems which are already here, and you can make use out of that. And you have also a cloud, which you can also then use powerfully than before.
And one of those shortcuts is AI, to help make it more efficient. But how do you really integrate that? I mean, where exactly is AI coming in?
So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So most companies on shop floor are used to dashboarding what they call OEE, right? Which is the overall equipment effectiveness, right? And they're dashboarding very much about if the machine is up and running, what speed we have, and what quality we have on shop floor. And they're doing this for years. Some of them doing this for decades, right? What they don't do is to say, if I have a particular problem with quality, what are the reasons? And if they would like to understand the reasons, then they have to look into lots of paperwork and manual stuff, tap into different sorts of systems in order to get an answer. And this will be replaced thanks to AI plus Gen AI.
Yeah.
And I'll give you another example to illustrate what I'm saying here. It's like, assuming your OEE dashboard would tell you, I do have a maintenance issue. Usually what you would have done is saying, I'm going to replace that particular part of the machine. Let's call it a bearing, right?
Yeah.
And then you would replace that bearing, causing 30 minutes of downtime, and you will bring the machine up. That was the typical behavior of, let's say, today and maybe the past.
Yeah.
With Gen AI now, you can say, tell me what maintenance I have done on this particular machine. And then you find out this particular bearing has been replaced for 3 times the last 2 weeks. So maybe it's not the bearing. Maybe it's something different. And then you go to the next step. And this is because of Gen AI with its capabilities of looking into unstructured data such as PDFs.
Yeah.
And this is complete new, and this is bringing Shopfloor to the next level.
Yeah, sounds like really, really efficient.
It is efficient, but it's the way how you make use out of that. I'm a big fan of really relevant technology, and AI, without a doubt, is one of the relevant technologies of the future, of today. So, but what we see also in practice, and that's also example with our clients saying, wait, make you the most use out of that.
Yeah.
And as of today, we see, especially in operating system, operating things, you have a big lever for AI, which really helps them directly because response timing is getting shorter. So when you automate the entire operate, either IT or what we are now doing also for one customer in the OT environment.
Yes.
So running the OT operate and powered by AI, I think that's is really helpful and makes AI so a powerful technology.
Absolutely.
You also talked about like Gen AI. In one of our studies, we found that there are only 30% of Gen AI projects brought to life right now. This is not enough, I guess. I mean, we are all talking about that and feels like it's already kind of a fundament for all those processes we have. It must be like a fundament for the shop floor. But it's not there yet. So if I'd be a potential client now, and I would stand in front of both of you, and I would say, like, I want to modernize my factory. What would you recommend me to do first?
I mean, one of the reasons why quite a few Gen AI projects fail is because companies simply use one Gen AI model and they hope to apply this to all of the problems they may have, right? And some of the problems are maybe too big to be addressed by a single large language model. And there are many, many around. So my advice is that, go small. Start with something to learn about the technology, right? And get this as a lighthouse to communicate how it was actually running, right? And as soon as you have done this in terms of experience and learning about this new technology, which is evolving super fast, right? Then you go the next step. But then you stop proof of concepts anymore and you don't do piloting after that. Then you go AI at scale.
Yeah.
And that's where we are today.
Yes.
Perfect. And I couldn't agree more. So, and to make that happen, it's really important to work in partner ecosystems.
Yes.
Like we are doing together with Snowflake. There might be also other partners which we should include then to make that really happen as a first step. And then you can scale it. So, that's the way how you should proceed here.
Yeah. So what would you say, like, what is the partnership about? That what is Deloitte bringing to the table? How can we support, like, I mean, you have the technology. What do we do there?
Oh, a lot. So where should I start? No. So what we really do is helping also to enable Snowflake as a platform, as a data base, so to say. So where do we get the connect to Snowflake? So this is our job, but also getting the data out and making something out of it. And that's the most important thing. So, okay, what I can do now with the data to make some knowledge out of that.
Yeah.
That's our part.
And the way we look at Deloitte as a strategic partner is help us to implement the technology, number one.
Yeah.
Like the obvious, right? Secondly, consider impact to organization.
Yeah.
Because also the way companies are organized, this is also changing. This has an element of change management and organizational development and maturing towards becoming a data-driven, AI-driven company. And last but not least, especially for some manufacturing companies, it's all about connected machines and connected products, which transforms then into new business models. We only provide technology, which is enabling lots of new things for companies. And that's the reason why it's so vital to have Deloitte as a partner.
Tell me more.
Have you heard that? Yeah. So maybe one step back again, because I like the reality check a lot. Because if I take a look at, sometimes I'm in factories, and the reality is sometimes so much, like, so different from what we are all talking about, right? And most of the time, for example, one of those problems is data lack, right? There is not enough data, or there is unclean data, or data gaps, data silos. We have talked about that. Do you see opportunities to use AI also to balance that, and to, for example, fill those gaps and higher the quality of data with AI?
So I'm a great believer in AI, but in order to enable AI, you have to have a strong data foundation.
Yes.
You have to have a solid data governance. Otherwise, AI doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
You have to start with data, and you have to get the data strategy right. So if I talk to companies, and I, sometimes notice the same, and they're telling me about, I have like silos of data, I don't know what kind of data I'm having, I do have, data quality issues.
Yeah.
Sometimes my data is getting manipulated by whomever, right?
Yeah.
I don't trust the data.
Yeah.
And we usually have a data management problem. And that data management problem can be addressed by technical data governance, but also has to be addressed by business data governance. And that's another part of our partnership here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about that, it's really about also the target operating model.
Yeah.
You need to make in place, aligned with the governance, and then you can make really use out of that, of the AI topic. But you need a proper organizational setup, which helps you then make something out of the data.
And then we are getting new roles in companies, which they also have to learn and experience. We are getting roles like a data steward, right?
Yeah.
For instance, a data steward is a role which is usually taken care from a business perspective on a set of data, and is responsible for ensuring the quality of that data and ensuring that the data is being accessible to all the relevant stakeholders.
Yeah.
Right? It's a typical business role.
Absolutely.
CDO is not more the chief digital officer, it's the chief data officer.
Exactly. Also, that role has evolved.
Yeah.
I think so too, because people are always afraid of being replaced, but I think it will just be a shift of roles, a shift of tasks.
Yeah.
We don't need to do all those tasks we don't like to do, but we can focus on controlling the technology.
Yeah.
But this is also when we need to learn more, right? We need to educate our own employees. This is what we at Deloitte also do with our Gen AI driver's license in Germany.
Yeah.
But we also need to educate our clients, because they also need to understand the technology. They need to understand what are the use cases. So
what's in it for me?
Yeah, what is in it for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't understand the technology, you can't adapt it. So what do you do to teach your or teach is not the right word, but educate and enable and make technology more accessible to your clients?
I mean, we offer free learning courses for our technology. We are doing boardroom education. We are doing staff education. We offer a variety of different courses. We go to conferences like here in Hanover, right?
Yeah.
And we talk a lot to clients to really explain this is the technology, but this is also the business impact of technology.
Yeah.
And we don't do this isolated. We do this in an ecosystem, right? We do this together with other technology partners, and we do this together with system integrators, right?
Because what I also think is that 80% trust more in technology if they can experiment that. So we also have the simulation AI center in Bangalore now.
Yeah.
So what do you say?
And that's a perfect example. I just want to mention, so when we saying Deloitte is now implementing AI for our own stuff.
Yes.
And we thought, hey, this goes by like this.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. We trained and we did things, and but nobody really accepted that or is using that. Yeah. Because maybe they have fear. I don't know what the reason is, but to show things, how does that help you in your daily business, in your daily life? And that was our key for success then in future. And this is also important to understand the customers where they are as of today. When you talk to people on the shop floor, maybe they have a different view on that than the people in the office, and that's, I think, the trick. And take them by the hand and saying, this is in it for you.
Yes.
And as you said, but also explaining the impact to the various we call them personas, right? In the organization. So if someone in supply chain has a different need than someone, let's say, in HR for data, right?
Yeah.
That also has to be explained in terms of value and what's in for them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's one last thing,
Yeah.
and I want to also add to that. With adding AI technology, with adding data technology, like having centralized data warehouses, some people believe, oh, there's another thing coming, there's another application coming, so my level of complexity is increasing.
Yeah.
That's not how we are looking at it. So we are very much looking at it in terms of unifying data into a single data access warehouse environment.
Yeah.
And then, really making data democratization, enabling access to the entire company to the data.
Yeah.
And it's super important, and this is sometimes forgotten, that also that has to be managed.
Yeah.
And if the complexity of these platforms is getting too high or unmanageable, you will see failure in data management and you will see no success in AI. That's the reason why it's so important to have an operational environment in place, which allows you to manage data, right, in a proper data warehouse environment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it must also be easy to, assess, right? To like if that dashboards, for example, they have a great user experience. That I also like the idea of chatting with your factory, right? So you can. I think this is a big thing that it's easy, that it's simple. If we make tech more complex, we won't win.
No.
So speaking of tech, we talked a lot about data and AI now. What is the next big thing? What is making waves in manufacturing?
Wow, we are already on our way.
Yeah.
It's not that there's a big wave coming over it. So it's really about step by step. Yeah, implementing those new technologies, make use out of that, then taking the next step.
Yeah.
You will not change the world. Makes no sense because there are processes for years now and they're working good. So how can I optimize? How can I automate them? I think that's a big bet, and we are on the way. We're in a good way.
Yeah.
Looking very positive in the future.
Yeah.
But there's one thing which people talk about.
Yeah.
So
tell us.
just agentic AI.
Aha.
Agentic AI, right?
Oh yeah.
So everybody
Everyone's
talks about agentic AI. And there are different definitions of agentic AI. The way we are looking at it is very much saying, you have an opportunity to access structured data, like well-described data, and unstructured data, which is very much PDFs, etc., right? And in the future, we will also talk about photo, voice, and video data, right?
Okay, integration of those.
And integrate structured and unstructured data into one agent, right? And then make that agent accessible to the companies. And then instead of having one agent, you will have multiple agents. That's the reason why you need an orchestration layer in order to manage that agent and keep it simple again, right?
Yeah.
Companies to introduce that. Again, this is built on existing AI technology and it's built on existing Gen AI capabilities.
Yeah.
But that's the new thing in 2025.
But why do we have various agents then and not like one who can do everything?
That would be too complex to define a single agent doing like everything, because just by the definition, you would like end up with, I don't know, spending 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
So you take single tasks or multitask and you create a single agent for that.
Yeah.
And then you add another agent and you orchestrate 2 agents. For you as a user, it looks like one agent.
Yeah.
Under the hood, there are like multiple agents working for you, executing tasks.
Different tasks.
Okay.
And agents are taking decisions. Right? So it's not only about single tasking with prompting anymore. They are taking decisions.
So we are out making decisions?
We are doing this.
That's good. So still we need to control the tech, right? We are the decision makers. We are here at Hannover Messe. And if you look around, like, what do you want to do this week? What is the one thing you're looking forward to?
I mean, mainly talking to customers, talking to partners, and having a good exchange on where we are, what is the art of the possible, and really help customers to go to the next step in manufacturing.
Yeah. And you?
Same, absolutely. I mean, that's a fair good for, and I'm looking very, very much forward to join our partners at their booths where we have also stations.
Yes.
This is a really cool setup for us.
So maybe to finish this round, before we are heading to Hannover Messe again, I would like you to finish the sentence. The future of manufacturing with Snowflake and Deloitte is.
Bright.
Key for success.
Great. Thank you everyone for watching, and until soon.